Guys, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Cornercade Let's Go show. Episode number 42. Rolling in hot, guys. We keep it going. We're keeping the streak going each and every week. Super excited to be with you guys here tonight. Got some fun, just speculation topics to chill with you guys on this Wednesday night, guys. But before we start all of the Miss Pac-Man XL and all of this other Smash Golden Tee talk, guys, I want to say hi to everybody in the chat. So I want to get it started with Retro Roofer is in the house, says, no one is here. It's 9 o'clock. Yes, we started the show a few minutes late. I was trying to do something, guys. I was trying to do a little show prep for each and every one of you guys, but it was a little difficult. Hold on a second. Let's bring you guys actually in the building here. Let's go here. Now you can see everybody. Let's go. Vic Vicious is in the house. Vic Vicious, what's going on? Arcade One Up 2024 is Robotron, Street Fighter Alpha, Street Fighter 3, something new or bust. Vic Vicious, we are all on that train with you. Trust me, I'm the conductor on it, chugging the horn along, man. 110%. Brett, I'm sorry, man. He says, late to your own show. Let's go. Hey, there's other streamers that are a few minutes late. It's okay. I was sitting here. I was trying to do something. I don't have like a lot of programs, so I was trying to do something cool and funky. JT Games says, sup, Danny, and everybody in the chat. Thank you so much, man, for stopping by tonight. Addicted to Arcade One Up is here, man. What is going on, dude? You got to let me know, because I think it looks like you bought the new Elgato 4K Pro camera. You got to let me know how it looks and how it performs, man. I want to see it. I think that's what you have from that community picture that you showed. So super cool you to stop by tonight, because I was interested in that camera. There's a couple Elgato cameras that I'm interested in. Big B is in the building. Let's go, mofo, with your long ass intro. Yes, love it. Thank you, man. Thank you guys for getting hyped tonight. You really do help me at the end of the day get hyped for the show. So I absolutely love it. Hold on a second. Super Fat Hobbit's got this big comment here. He says, soon we'll be streaming live from Danny's new arcade bedroom. That's right. First their daughter's room sacrifice, now Katie's bedroom. Danny won't sleep. Beautiful comment for tomorrow's show, guys. If you saw the thumbnail, we got a little, Miss Cornercade and I have a little chit chat that we're going to do. So we're going to be super hyped for that one as well, Stupid Fat Hobbit. So just hang in there for tomorrow. Tonight, it's Miss Pac-Man XL and a whole bunch of other stuff. Julio Hernandez is in the house saying, let's go, man. Thank you so much for stopping by, my guy. And we got Wild Child in the building. What's up, bro? I'm at work, but I'm watching when I can. Thank you so much, guys. Hit that like if you haven't already. We got 23 people in the house live. Go ahead and smash that like. Help support the channel big time. And as always, we got Jason, our moderator, in the house. Thank you, Jason, for taking time out of your day to come kick it with the Cornercade and help moderate the channel. So, with all that out of the way, guys, there's a rumor going around, guys, of this Miss Pac-Man XL, and I'm like thinking in my head, I'm like, well, what happened to that golden tee that they wanted so bad? Miss Pac-Man, does that have great graphics? We had that talk before. They didn't want to do Star Wars because of the graphics. So, chat, you got to help me tonight. You got to understand. I'm confused at the end of the day as to what's going on. So I'm going to get a little clarity. And you know what? Nobody can speak clarity right now from the man who started the rumor to begin with. James Hates Everything is in the building. Let's go.
Let's go. Yeah, you can't talk Miss Pac-Man XL without me, right? So
100%, man. So I wanted to get down to the business here. You did a great video, lots of numbers. I mean, I don't know if you have those numbers in front of you that you can kind of share with our viewers. I know everybody kind of watches everybody, but not everybody does. So to kind of catch up everybody on what is going on exactly, I guess start from scratch. Lay it on me. Why do we think Arcade One Up, or specifically Arcade One Up and Costco, it's Miss Pac-Man XL? And the preference, real quick, I think I did state that the obvious direction they did the Pac-Man, you just do Mrs. Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man in the powder blue. I did say that. I remember saying that, but I don't want to say I know it all. But it's just the obvious go-to. But we heard a lot of talks, from Mike B. Star Wars. Yeah, those graphics are terrible. Those vector graphics are awful. Yeah. So just lay it on me and the viewers here on why this may or may not be happening.
Yeah. So exactly as you said, I think we all kind of hypothesized, really thought that Miss Pac-Man XL was just the logical next choice for Costco, right? sold 13,000 plus of the Pac-Man XL. It just made sense. They're the exclusive home, but Michael B was hearing different things, and so it got a lot of us to second guess what was actually going to happen based on some of the rumors and speculation that Michael B had. So last week, or yeah, it was last Saturday, right? Just before I'm about to go live, a Costco employee contacts me and basically says, "Hey, I've looked in the system. We've got Miss Pac-Man XL in the powder blue with the 19-inch screen coming, and we've ordered they're 15,500. And it sounds like this gentleman works in the distribution center or distribution organization of Costco, and says noted that they were going to send them out to all 626 stores in the US, none for Canada, which kind of goes along with what they did with Pac-Man XL, with the exception of they've ordered more of Miss Pac-Man XL. Now, I don't know personally this person, so I don't know for sure if they work there. And so, to be clear, it could just be completely made up. However, he did provide us really specific details about the sell rates of Pac-Man XL. And I know from a chat with John D, who confirmed with contacts he has within our Arcade One Up, that the sale through number is correct. Like, at least the overall number that was ordered by Costco is correct. And so this gentleman said Pac-Man had 13,250 ordered by Costco, and I know we had heard 13,500 by a leaker originally, and that they had sold 12,385 Pac-Mans. And in addition to that, he provided numbers for how many were returned, and that was due to either board issues or cosmetic damages that were returned to Arcade One Up. He also provided the number of cabinets that they sold at a discount via open box because they were display models, right? So he provides those numbers as his evidence of who he is. They can be checked by anybody who works at Costco, should be able to look up and verify those. So I shared that information on my stream in hopes that we could verify that indeed this is a legitimate source and we are getting Pac-Man XL. Like I said, it makes logical sense. The numbers make sense because Miss Pac-Man sells better than regular Pac-Man. I think you're just gonna see. I think it makes a lot of sense, and based on they already have the number in the system, I can't help but wonder if they're gonna get it sooner than when they got the Pac-Man XLs last year, which I believe was in like September or October timeframe. So we may be looking at these more, August timeframe with extra time for the extra amount.
Yeah, that's I don't know, I'm 50-50 with it. Like, anybody can put numbers and kind of just,
They can.
it's and I don't report on things like that, guys. When I have like, I don't have a lot of insiders, but when I do have somebody reach out to me with info, I always triple check it. So I usually go through three people to kind of like see if this is a factual thing where I can report on.
Yeah.
Much like, MK Spectate, we did a couple weeks ago show. That's coming. That is like on the brink of coming. So that's like an official thing. I'm not just using that and just guessing. Even though it's late, they said that was supposed to be like in what, January or something. I don't know. It's supposed to be a few months
Yeah.
ago. It's a little late with that, but yeah. So but we always like to have fun speculating. I mean, when there's not a lot to talk about, you get any information, you like to have fun with it. Like, you like to roll with it. You like to see if that could become a reality. There's so many avenues to go down. You like to make prediction lists. We love to do that. We love to see, and it spurs up conversation at the end of the day to say like, hey, can this happen? Can this even become a reality? Because a lot of the times, if we don't like, make noise about it, maybe Arcade One Up doesn't even know that we're even interested in something like that. Like, a lot of those people over there don't even know like this type of gaming. They might know VR, they might know Madden on PS5 or something. They're not going to know like old school retro games as much as we may or other people in the community may. Um,
Yeah, and I think,
so
obviously, I don't have a bunch of contacts within Costco in order to verify that this person works there. I will say, I tried to look up some other things and couldn't find any evidence of that, but I did find some circumstantial evidence that uh, at least their one connection with Arcade One Up just happens to be the other XL cabinet, right? And so there's loosely that's evidence that he works there. The other side of it, I would say, is Michael B tried to verify the information with his contacts in Arcade One Up, and they would neither confirm nor deny, right? So they didn't say yes, it's coming, but they didn't say no either, which
that should
would,
be kind of a
read into that what you
that'd be a
will.
dead giveaway.
Yeah.
Usually, if stuff, I know in the past when John D would used to say like, "Oh yeah, that's impossible. We can't do that." That
Yeah.
he was already working on it. So it's like it was like his way of saying like, "You got me, but I'm not gonna tell you." So that was like his code. But yeah. So if they can't deny it, then I would have to get the boat right there and then on. It's probably going to happen, which will be exciting. Like for XL users, I know it's kind of like the same kind of thing come from Miss Pac-Man, Pac-Man kind of thing. It's the same thing, but it's different. What do you prefer? I prefer Miss Pac-Man.
Yeah, I think Miss Pac-Man's a better overall game, but I'm good with either, right? And
Yeah.
so, it'll be a must buy for me. I've got the regular Pac-Man XL, so I'll, set this right next to it. I think the cabinet itself is much better looking with that blue and pink than the yellow of
Oh
Pac-Man.
yeah, 100%. Like I don't, I don't hate against the black and pink, but I know like RK One Up has said like retailers love that color scheme for some reason. I don't. It's so random, dude. Like, but it's like okay, so that's why they came out with that in deluxe instead of the blue. So we would just assume that the blue is going to be an XL, but I don't know. I don't know. It could be. What if it's black and pink, and
Yeah,
that's the XL?
that would be terrible.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Obviously, this leaker claims it is the baby blue version. I will say
Okay.
that I think the real reason that they didn't ultimately go with that baby blue for the Miss Pac-Man Deluxe was because of the class of '81, right? It already had the baby blue. What were they going to have two baby blue Miss Pac-Mans
Yeah.
in the market at the same time? I think that they probably thought that would just hurt sales, and if they differentiate between the two, you might convince somebody to buy both of them as opposed to, you know, both being baby blue.
Yeah, that's true. And JT Games brings up a good point.
Yeah.
He says games list sucks so compared to 81. That's why I went with the class of 81 because Rally X was on there. There was just a little bit more games that was like, oh, I'd probably play this a little bit more than the Miss Pac-Man Deluxe
Yeah.
list. You get the Galaga on there. I ended up getting a Galaga cab, so that kind of but I think it was Galaga 88 as the game that you get on there, which like that's a fun game. But yeah, that's why we ended up going Class A1. And plus, that was the first deluxe we had. It came out right away. We were excited with the new body style. So Jason here says, I do know that Costco has expressed interest in more than one XL, and this could be big. I mean, can you imagine two XLs a year? That could really jumpstart people's arcades. When you have to wait one XL every year, that's exhausting. Like
Yeah.
I jokingly told my wife, I was like, it would literally take us 20 years to build our arcade. Like nobody's waiting that long. That's like it's insane. Uh, Chris Nooner is in the house. Chris says, I'd have preferred Miss Pac-Man XL over my Pac-Man XL, but not gonna switch since I invested in modding already. So um, good to know. I mean, that's what some people might take a hard pass on this because they already. It's kind of like I know it's the same thing but different. But yeah, like if I was building my home arcade in XL, you unfortunately have to pay for the $1,000 Killer Instinct. You'd have both of these 100%, and then that's kind of where it would end because the other two, the screens aren't that great. Um, Let's see here. Thumper Squid is in the house. He says, I got a pair of Aldi branded shoes at Aldi for a joke. Joke's on me because I like them. Aldi sells shoes. That's very interesting.
You gotta
Okay.
stock up on them shoes.
Yeah, right. It's like Aldi's turning into Costco now. Uh, JT also piggybacking on not the original Pac Man. That's whack. Chris says Star Wars XL is the one I seek. You might have to wait for that one because Costco is not having it. Um, it would be nice though. You know how they were saying like club store exclusive. Well, if they had multiple club stores put out these cabinets and each one put out a different one, I mean, now you're cooking. You could have like 5 different stores with 5 different cabinets a year or something. That could be pretty cool. I just don't know if Arcade One Up can
Yeah, I mean,
produce that.
that's how, like, toy companies do it, right? So, like, Michael B started talking about toys again, and PD7's getting everybody back into the toy game, so I blame him. But a lot of these toys, like, say, Masters of the Universe, they'll come out with a wave of new figures that is available everywhere. But then they'll put an exclusive one at Target, they'll do an exclusive one at Walmart, and they'll do an exclusive one with generic retailers that are like online only, like Entertainment Earth. And so you have to end up jumping to all of these if you're a collector and want to get the whole run. And so, you know, it would be a good marketing thing for Arcade One Up if they did say an exclusive one with Sam's Club, an exclusive one with Costco, that those are the only place you can get it. Biggest problem I see is I don't get the impression that Sam's Club's ever going to dip their toes back in that water, both with at games and Arcade One Up. They really, what was it? The Christmas of 2022, they liquidated everything, just getting rid of all that stuff at dirt cheap prices. And so I don't it seemed to me like they were just like, "We're done. We're not getting back into this area at all." I mean, maybe there'll be something compelling enough to bring them back in, but I feel like Sam's Club, other than maybe ordering online, an online only, I don't think they plan on bringing them back into their stores.
Yeah, I'm still kicking myself for that $200 HD pinball. I
Yeah.
had it in my cart. I didn't know what I was doing at the time. You win some, you lose some. Like I made out with the Simpsons. There you go. That's
Yeah.
the equal universe. So the Simpsons for 139, which I sold like half the parts to that because we're building this into a deluxe. So essentially, the cab was free, and I'm just paying for the parts of it right now. So
And JT Games points out, right, Sam's is part of Walmart, but you got to also remember Walmart is only carrying the peasant cabs or the classic editions or whatever you want to call them. They're not bringing in the deluxes or anything else at this stage. Now their marketplace you can buy from many retailers on the Walmart marketplace,
yeah, like you
like
can get time crisis, but it's
Retail and
not.
everybody
Yeah,
else is on there, but
yeah.
from the store itself, like they have their small selection of the classics, and that's about it.
I have a question here for Jason. He says Costco would be the only real hope there. As of January 23rd, it took a huge amount of push to get Shop Hippo to re-release Star Wars. I want to know if Star Wars is going to get re-released into a deluxe because I'm kind of waiting for a sale there because I would like to have the just a better looking Star Wars and get that light up coin door. I just don't want to get that and then all of a sudden now they re-release a deluxe. What do you think? Do you think they're going to do a deluxe?
I hope they do. It seems like a natural high seller to me, but maybe they should think outside the box and go to somebody like GameStop, right? Like every city has 100 GameStops. What if they did an exclusive Star Wars Deluxe or XL with GameStop? I People would buy it and
That'd
it
be
get
cool.
people
That'd be
into
cool.
GameStop, right? And
No, they
GameStop
wanted to.
carries their cabs, they just don't keep them in store.
Yeah, they
But
wanted to do, in store, what is that? What's that?
iconic.
Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go. They wanna do that one instead.
It's
Oh,
probably
I
because
wanna
Arcade One Up didn't offer them one, but I bet if they gave GameStop an exclusive cab, I bet they'd carry it in the store.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, one would think, right? Chris says, "I guess I don't get why Star Wars wouldn't be appealing in the XL format unless it's a game only being a list of 3." No, like, from what we're hearing is, Chris at Costco, and I blew up on this. I had a whole, like, freak out over it, like, I want the community to get Star Wars XL. Like, I want you guys to have. I want XL line to be successful. I want the deluxe line to be successful, so we can keep getting more and new cool stuff. But they Arcade One Up was pushing for it apparently to Costco, and Costco said, It kind of looks like it has bad graphics. Like, do you have anything else?" And they recommended a golden tee, but they could have recommended this Pac-Man. Now I don't know. And that just left me scratching my head as to, well, it's from the 80s, like it's vector graphics. Like what do you you're not, this isn't an Xbox. This is targeting to a different demographic. But then they'll turn around and sell the XL Pac-Man, which are those graphics just blowing everybody away. Like I didn't know the Pac-Man was blowing everybody away. So
And
um
one of the things they could do is instead of making another Star Wars cab, they could make a Return of the Jedi, right? It's got a more modern 16-bit graphic look to it that they could lead with.
that'd be kind of cool.
If
Yeah.
that's the one thing, right? Other than the vector graphics, you still get all the games, right? But
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's true. Yeah. JT, I don't want to. So there's a little bit more that I want. So I want the continuous side art, and then I want the black T molding. And at one point, I had over like Christmas, I had the Star Wars in my cart. It would cost me $411 on Wayfair, and I was hemming and I was hawing because I could sell this one easily for $400. So I'm like, with the Switch, I'm paying $12 to
yeah.
Switch. That was worth it. Now, when you're paying $200 to Switch, it's not really worth it to me. So I'm waiting for the right time, and it's so funny. So let me tell you a little story here. There's somebody at work. Um, he's an older gentleman. He has a huge Star Wars room, big Star Wars guy. And I was like, you know what? I was like, "Do you wanna buy my Star Wars cab when I eventually sell it? I wanna get a new one. I kinda wanna upgrade." And he's like, "Well, how much do you want for it?" I said, 400, that's fair, for this guy. He's like, "100%, I'll do it." So he went to his wife, asked his wife kinda thing. She said, "Go ahead, buy it." So we're just kind of like in a preliminary agreement. I'm just kinda waiting for a sale, right? Well, his kids got wind of him wanting to buy this, and they bought him the new one. So he got it for his birthday, which I'm like, "Dude," he's like, "I got some bad news." He's like, "I won't be able to buy it." I'm like, "No, that's exciting, dude. Like, you got your very first arcade one up. You're gonna have so much fun." It was like delivered yesterday. He's gonna build it and play it. I'm like, dude, tell me how it is. Like, you'll have a blast of this because he's a huge Star Wars guy. Like, he has a whole dedicated room, and I'm like, dude, this would be something that will go great in that room. So we'll have to see if he likes it or not. But he's welcome to the Arcade One Up family. But again, just another version of me talking about One Up, and boom, a One Up sale happens. Like, that would have never happened if I didn't spark the conversation, because his kids were like, "Oh, like he's interested in it. Let's do it." So it's so funny. Like, word of mouth is what sells.
Yeah, and I can tell you, like, I have the, newer Star Wars, and I think it looks awesome.
Yeah, that black team
Yeah.
molding helps. I like that a lot over
Yeah,
the
and
the
the
blue.
carrying the graphics all the way through and not
Yeah,
having the logos on the front really helps it.
yeah. It
I
just
just
looks a
love
little
it.
bit better. And then I want to do that Etsy 3D bezel mod,
Yeah.
because that'll look even cooler.
Well, if they do an XL, it better come with the molded bezel because
One would think.
that is the Star Wars.
Yeah. Yeah, one would think. You gotta make it like it's realistic. Damian Williams says TMNT Deluxe coming July. Just watch. There's a new Turtle game dropping in July for Nintendo Switch. That would be dope. Like, I would love that, because my wife was like, she saw 99 Lives put out a control deck. By the way, there's speaking of 99 Lives, and I don't want to get sidetracked here, but James, do you remember when we did our NFL Blitz 2-player control panel mod?
Yep.
So, confirmed from what I know and what I've seen right after the video, congratulations to 99 Eyes. Like, 8 or 9 people bought this control deck that I know of. Like, there could be more, but just based on that single mod, man, that was dope. He posts when he like delivers them. So our Simpsons and NBA Jam are coming. Supposed to be here Friday, I believe. So we'll be doing videos on those and making those. And I'm so excited because right now the front of our arcade here is like in hodgepodge land, because we got the 4 players. We got one that has no deck on it whatsoever. It's been driving me nuts to get that settled and to be able to play it. We haven't played The Simpsons yet, and we bought it like, a week and a half, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So that'll be cool to get those projects, and we'll have videos coming. But my wife, long and short, saw a control panel for Turtles, like a 2-player one. She's like, "Man, I miss having Turtles in the arcade." And I said, "Well, I want to soft mod The Simpsons. Let's do that." And here's the difference, guys. She said it's not the same playing Turtles on the baby blue Simpsons cab. It's just not the same. And this is where it goes from, well, why don't you just get a multi-cade and have all these games on it, to you're buying an
Yeah.
atmosphere. and you're collecting too. Like there's a form of, collectorship when you have different calves, different body styles, the track modes are playing, and we'll get into all of like that kind of talk in our tomorrow stream because there's a big controversy. It's gonna be fun. But yeah, I'm hoping. I mean, James, do you want Turtles Deluxe to come out?
So I would want a Turtles XL. I don't know that I would bite for the deluxe because I do have a Simpsons and it's, I've already modded mine, so it's got all the turtles and stuff on it. And I don't think, for me, the art on the original Turtles isn't so much that I like, oh, I've got to have it that way. I want it bigger because I think the size of even Simpsons and Turtles and X-Men are just a little small for me. Like I just those cabinets are so much shorter on the top, and I would just love to see an XL so that it's overall just bigger.
Yeah, and that could easily be done. Like, obviously, you've seen the NBA Jam, we get the 4 player, but
Yeah.
it'd be nice to get it a little bit. That body style's wacky, more of like a deluxe, like Mortal Kombat Midway kind of design. Um, oh man, look, we're gonna rock this house right now, James. You ready? Let's
Do
go,
it.
dude. We got my man Ezekiel, the Chicago Retro Ranger, stopping by, saying hi, super chatting 199. What's up, fellas? Let's go. Thank you so much, Ezekiel, for supporting the channel as always. And I want to preference this, guys. I know this community is full of people with huge hearts. And I mean, I've had Game Room Guru, aka Addicted to Arcade One Up, send me the 49-way joystick, so we were able to do our NFL Blitz mod for free. Like the amount of stuff that people have sent me, just off the chain. Just, hey, take it, you can have it. You're a good dude, whatever. Like, love it. My wife reached out to Ezekiel, the Chicago Retro Ranger, and without hesitation, he made our daughter, it's unbelievable, birthday shirts with, like, she wanted unicorns and arcades, and when he sent over the design, it's something so small. He blew Ezekiel. Like, I cannot thank you enough. I'm thanking you in front of the world, man. I honestly, my family, you made me tear up. My wife loves it. I got this man sent me a Christmas card of his beautiful family. Like, this guy would literally give the shirt off his back for you. And not only did he make my daughter one, our daughter one, he made our whole family a shirt as well. So we're gonna wear that for her birthday. Ezekiel, I promise we'll send
Nice.
you a shirt. We'll put it in that community tab. We'll send you one. So I want to thank you again, because honestly it means the world, and she is gonna light up, because we got her like a bomber jacket too, like a unicorn bomber jacket. Like, this girl is gonna be decked out. She got a little like tutu. She wears this stuff around the house all the time. Like, she loves it. She got it a little bit early because me and my wife, we can't keep a secret and save our lives. So Christmas always starts out like real early for us because we're giving gifts here and there. But I thank you so much, man. I cannot thank you enough, and I don't want to derail the show because Ezekiel's my guy. But we got talks. We got talks. Where do we go? My head is lost. What were we even talking about? We were talking about turtles. We were talking about turtles. You wanted Turtles XL, right?
Yeah, well, I do want to go back because you mentioned your 2-player deck on Blitz, and I will say I have to give it up to them because that's more arcade accurate than obviously what Arcade One Up did. Arcade One Ups is more based on Blitz 99 or whatever, the second one.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
so if you were going to actually make your Blitz custom to look like the actual Blitz at the arcade, throw the side graphics on, getting that 2-player control deck is the way to go. That is the way it came. That's the way it looked, with all the helmets across the front and everything.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah,
the way
and
to do it.
and the side panels, they have like I
Yeah,
forgot what it said. It was like Players Association. They have like the NFL like kids stuff. Like, that's how it was, and that's why I
yeah.
loved it so much. I'm like, dude, this is like so just like detailed and like made right. Like, Greg over at 99 Lives, I cannot say enough good things about him. He did the first ever Simpsons one for us, and I kind of collabed with him, kind of come up with the design, and that's going to be on his website now to sell. I wonder if he has it. I'll have to have you talk here while I looked it up because I'd be curious to see if he actually posted it because I saw it on his Facebook. But
See,
then we did
on
we did the X-Men one too.
I was gonna say on the art on it, are you going with like the traditional game art, or are you gonna take some opportunities to do something fancy on the art on the deck?
I wanted to go more traditional, but actually I do have a picture here, and I'm gonna lose the thing that I worked on the whole time. Figures, right? Just to show you guys this. So here, let me show you real quick. So let's see if
Yeah,
can I
so that
zoom
very
in?
much looks in the same style as the
Yeah, he had like the characters up front here. I don't know. This is not okay. It's gonna zoom in, but it's gonna. So I had him add this Simpsons logo because it wasn't like he didn't have that on the first one, and then I made these characters like much bigger. They were much smaller before. Then he's got the front here, kind of nice little touch. There's nothing. I mean, that on the real one, I don't think it has that. It's just blank. So that's something kind of cool, but you don't really when you're playing to see the front. But this one is probably mine to be quite honest with you. But it's gonna be coming in hot soon. Like I said, I'm really excited, and they got the instructions on there, the fonts. Like he just does really good work, man.
yeah.
So like it's gonna be really, really exciting. Now this one, unfortunately, I won't. Yeah, I told him to add all these things. So that's really cool. Yeah, to add all these like options on there. That's really cool that he did that. Um, I won't. I'm not gonna. We're not gonna upgrade the buttons on this one because we can't get. So it comes with like the arcade one up one comes with like a baby blue ball top, and the industrial Lorenzo buttons are like a blue, like a dark. So
Yeah.
it drive me absolutely insane having the ball top different from the buttons. The yellows can kind of match up, but the blue because we were gonna take the blue and then do blue and yellow because we're doing a 2 player, and it just it's not gonna work out. So I think we're just gonna take the stock buttons, move them over, and then I'm gonna do the stock buttons and move them over for NBA Jam too because those are like the light up buttons and stuff, and they just
Yeah.
thread from the bottom.
Let's be realistic too. The buttons on a beat 'em up aren't super important to upgrade anyway, because there's only so much you can do. I mean, yeah, they'll feel better, but
Yeah,
it's not like a fighter or something where you need the
it's not the end of the
resistance.
world. It is. I will say this: I do hop on X-Men to because it's the only like cab that has the real buttons because I do like to press the
Yeah.
buttons. Like I'm like that is it's a difference. It's a difference. Anybody that's trying to upgrade buttons, it's definitely a difference for
Yeah.
sure. Lethal Wolf is in the house. Thank you so much, man, for stopping by. We are well, and I hope you are too, man. Thank you so much for coming by tonight. He also piggybacks off this. Isn't it crazy they have all those 4 player cabs, but chose to put Gauntlet on a 2 player? Yeah,
Yeah.
isn't that funny?
So frustrating.
That is, that'd be cool if they did like a Gauntlet Legends. My wife would be like day one buy. She
Oh,
loves
yeah.
Gauntlet and she loves Gauntlet Legends. That one was really fun
I
for her.
just
That'd be
can't
cool.
believe they haven't released a Gauntlet cab by itself, like, as the marquee title. Like, they did Joust and they did all these other ones. Why aren't you doing Gauntlet, man? That's
Well,
a
it's
huge brand.
you gotta get a retailer to pick up that skin.
Yeah.
And for a retailer, they might think, "What's that?" Like, they might not
In this
know.
day, though, with D&D so popular, you had the movie that came out, and, like, wizards and warlocks and warriors and all that stuff is
Yeah,
huge.
I mean, I'm clamoring for it. I want it. So let me see if I can bring this back. So we're talking about I'm gonna I completely lost it. You're gonna have to give me a second. You talk away, my friend, because I'm gonna have to bring this back up. Oh, there it is. All right, let's see
So
here.
I
Hold on.
noticed, Geo is in your chat. He is the DDR man.
Yes, yes, he is. Is he back? He said he was going
Yep.
away real quick. All right, so this is what I was trying to do, and I don't even know if I can actually do this here. Oh,
Uh-oh,
there we
he's
go.
doing
It's up.
something that's gonna break
Yeah, gonna
everybody's ears in the
exactly.
next 10 seconds.
We're all gonna be disconnected now. Okay, so we talked about why aren't they doing this? Why aren't they doing that? So, James, you made a more colorful and just vibrant version of what we were kind of doing here at the Corner K. We made a prediction 2024 roadmap predictions list, and our lists are very similar. Um, that we both had, and I'll have to bring mine up in a second because I want the viewers to kind of see this one. But I will say we had Tron Deluxe on there. We had actually a lot of the same ones. Big Blue Alien, I left that off, and in its place, I put Ridge Racer Deluxe and Star Wars Deluxe. So I'm surprised you didn't have Ridge Racer Deluxe on this.
So I based the entire timeline around marketing events, right? And so Ridge Racer, right? There's nothing I could tie it to that would make sense. And because the only two cabs we know about were aligned specifically to a marketing event. We know that at least one of the new cabs last year, Fast and Furious, was aligned to a marketing event. The Street Fighter HS5 aligned to a marketing event. So I went with that's hey their methodology, and that's where the only ones I kind of went out on a limb and said these are the ones that I think will likely happen and when they'll happen if they, and I don't want to say likely because some of them I do think are a long shot. It's just my hypothesis is here each of these has a major marketing opportunity and is a likely good release date or announcement date if Arcade One Up is going to do these.
Yeah, I saw you crossed out here. This this
Yeah,
golden T here.
had breaking news there. So
So funny. Oh, we got something coming in hot. So let's do this. We got a 4.99 super chat for Giovanni Sean saying, if you have the time to sidetrack, I sent an email, a never before seen technology used on a one up mod. I think you'll like it. We could definitely take a look at that right after we talk about this timeline of events that's going on for Arcade One Up. Giovanni Sean, I really do appreciate you taking your time to support the channel with that 4.99 super chat, and I will definitely show everybody that email in just a little bit here. Yes, ear blasting time. That's right. Hit the sound effects. We did that for you. Now, Addicted to Arcade One Up here says, I don't think Ridge Racer did very well. They had to blow out those things at $200. Now, you're not wrong, buddy, but they've already invested all the time, money, and effort, and they already have the mold in the Fast and the Furious. So this is a no cost project for them. They're literally just dumping it in, adding the graphics, could cost them totally $50 per cab to make kind of thing, and they're rolling with it. That's why I kind of pushed it because they have a really good relationship with Bandai Namco. That said, hey, Ridge Racer could be the one because they're not coming out with new stuff really this
yeah.
year, besides possibly a Street Fighter Alpha, which I don't know. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. One would think it would. I just don't know if they're going to do it or not.
Yeah, and we know traditionally, right? They want to do one driving cab and generally one gun cab every year or two or every year. Um, Problem with the gun cabs is we got two last year, right? Time Crisis and a Big Buck Hunter Deluxe. So there's
Yeah.
not a whole lot of opportunity to do another one. I don't think not at least this year. The driving cab, I just I realize if they're gonna do one, Ridge Racer is probably the only one they can do because they're not gonna go back to Outrun, and their other option would have to be a brand new one, which I think we all kind of agree they're likely not to do a brand new one. I think if we are going to get a new game this year, it's likely, ones we've seen already like AVP. But I do think that if they are going to do a driving cab, that Ridge Racer is the one that makes the most sense. I just don't know if with Fast and Furious in the market, do they think that people will buy Ridge Racer Deluxe over Fast and Furious? And I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that could be a good point. Maybe they hold off because they have stock, or it's like they don't do one this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that happening for sure. Because they never really put like two of the same kind of thing out. Terminator's still out there, but that's kind of sold through a little bit more. Now we did see Time Crisis and Big Buck, but again, I think that's a stupid notion that they're not competing with each other. I just think that's silly. You
Yeah,
could literally,
I think to some extent, but you got to think that the average person isn't going to drop down, you know, $1,000 or close to $1,000 multiple times a year for these things. And so,
yeah.
when you're looking at 500 to $750 for the gun ones, like, it's really hard pressed to say like, oh yeah, I'm definitely going to buy this one and then I'll pick up the next one 2 months later or something. I just I think it is an either or for the vast majority of people. They're just gonna pick up one, and now maybe a year later, they'll grab the other one, but, within a short succession, I think the average person isn't gonna pick up both of them.
What do you think, James? Chris says, "Has Time Crisis really sold that well?"
I think we don't know. I think it's hard to imagine it has at $750 with everything else now being $499. I think that's tough. And I know it's been discounted a few times to, like, the 600, 650 range, but I don't even know if that's low enough to get a lot of people like, it's one I really, really want, but I'm not paying $750 for it. I might pay 500 for it. I've been saving up reward cash. At some point when it does go on sale again, I'll probably snag it, but it was just too expensive for what it was.
Yeah, we sold Big Blue to get that, so I think we got it
Yeah.
for like I don't know, it was like 4.99 or something like that too. Yeah, so um, but yeah, let's see here. What the Lethal Wolf got his Fast and Furious for free from Best Buy. That's always a good deal.
Yeah, that's a great deal.
Um,
At that price, you should have bought 2.
yeah, right. Having them linked together does make a difference. Um, Wild Child, you're not missing anything with the Ridge Racer. We had it. It's okay, but when you get
Yeah.
to Fast and the Furious, you're like, wow, this is way better. Because on the Ridge Racer, you pretty much have to run like, and unless you put it on super easy, you pretty much have to run like perfect times, not hit the wall. Ace Driver is a fun game. Like the other games on there, definitely hold more of a punch than like your Ridge Racer. But like I said, if I had room in in the arcade, like massive amount of room, I probably would have kept it just for like variety of things.
Yeah.
But when you have to make a decision, I'm taking Fast and Furious over Ridge Racer all day. Would
Yeah, it's not a bad game at all. But it is like you said, it's subpar compared to Fast and the Furious. I mean, it's fine. It's not the racing game everybody wants, which is
no,
like
yeah.
Cruis'n USA or Daytona. I'm probably never gonna get either one of those because of the licensing issues with both of them. But, it's fine, but Fast and Furious is a much funner game.
Yeah, I'm still. We want to outrun. We never got our outrun,
Yeah.
so that's one thing that got
I
away
never
from us.
got one either.
Yeah. Lethal Wolf says he ordered and received a canceled order and an apology because they no longer had them in stock. I complained and told him I still want it. No further communication, but I was fully refunded. Well, dude,
Yeah,
you
nice.
take that, you run with it. You don't say
Yeah.
nothing. That is awesome, my guy.
Danny's gonna go
Uh,
back and look you up in the system and rat you out.
yeah, no, that's funny. I think we did that with like the pub table that we got. Like we ordered it, there was some kind of communication, we never got it, and then all of a sudden we canceled it because we didn't think we were gonna I don't know, but my wife dealt with it, but we ended up getting a free pub table.
Nice.
So I was like, oh, I'm not gonna complain about that. Like
How often do
that's
you
worth
guys
it.
play that one?
So it's in the corner of our living room. Like it's part of the like nook that we have in there. We get on it occasionally. I think Warlords is the best game on there. Um, what was that?
Sh
Is that what it says?
Shout out my NFM cup,
Oh, there you go.
Nebraska Furniture Mart.
Yeah, there you go. You get that free with every golden tea purchase.
Yeah.
Were you trying to get a pong table?
I've looked at it. I'm not a huge Pong fan by any means. It's a pretty simplistic game. And I had heard mixed about how well it would hold up with, like, cups and stuff on it, but it seems like most people say it's fine. But
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah,
it's
that's
just
fine.
if they're gonna do a four-player table, I'd rather see them come up with, like, a Pac-Man
Yeah,
or,
100%.
uh,
Yeah.
when I was at Midwest Gaming Classic, they had a four-player food fight, like, that would be super cool. Like, that was a cocktail table, like, kinda like, yeah, what is it? What is that Pac-Man where you got the 4 players, but I can't think of the name of it off the top
Yeah,
of
it's
my
a
head.
battle royale or whatever.
Yeah, only that's a more modern one. This food
Yeah.
fight was like the old traditional one. You just had 4 individual players running for the ice cream, and so it was pretty cool. Yeah,
That's funny. Yeah, anything would probably be better than Pong. It's Pong. Like there's not
yeah.
much to it. But hey, we got some breaking news, guys. Hold on a second. Guys, Vasil's back, everybody. It's been months since this man has been in the chat. Let's go, dude. He had some stuff going on with his family, but I'm super excited. This guy was one of my very first supporters, so he's back in the building. It's good to see you back, my guy. I had to do a little breaking news for you. That was too fun. Thank you so much, man. Hi. Hey, James, OTG,
Yeah, I was just
he's
about to say
blowing up
that.
the chat.
Yeah, you know, so like PD7 knows this, but OTG man, you lucked out big time because I stopped and talked with Caleb Phoenix Resale at Midwest Gaming Classic, and he shot video with me where he was shouting you out for being the number one arcade one up YouTuber, but I screwed up the footage. And so I only have him at the very beginning of our little skit and at the very end. So you lucked out because the meat of it was destroyed. So, but
Yeah, that would have
yeah,
been
I
funny.
told
You
him
told me
all
that off
about you and
camera. Yeah.
how much you love Arcade One Up and all this stuff.
Dude, OCG is like, I wish we could get him on more because he loves Arcade One Up, and
He
it's just
does. He's the
it's a
biggest.
shame that we.
You saw his announcement just there, right? He's the insider. He knows all this stuff.
That's so funny, dude. um, yeah, look, he says, "Oh shoot, damn Caleb, thanks for thinking of me." Let's see here. Yeah, Super Fab piggybacking off the pub table. He says Warlords is Super Breakout Rock. Tempest if you don't already. The rest is kind of blah. Yeah. Like I do play some of Pong's sports, like the hockey and stuff. I think that's kind of
Yeah.
cool, the little net, like the little like area in there. But yeah, 100% like it's a $2.99 purchase. It's a $2.99 purchase, and it's literally I would love for there to be like a Pac-Man variant of that. I think that'd be really cool. You know, get some like cup holders that are molded in kind of thing. Now we're cooking with some fire here. That would be kind of cool, but it's hard. It's just it's just Pong. You know, there's nothing. There's nothing to Warlords is pretty much the game where it's at. So but yeah, Jason was saying Outrun would make a better update than re-releasing Namco's pole position.
Yeah.
100%. That would be really cool, but it's a Sega title. I don't know if they're doing any stuff with them anymore. So that
Well,
kind
it
of
feels
stinks.
like Sega right now is protecting their IPs for their new like online service that Sega Blast or whatever they're calling it. You know, so they're holding back a lot of those games for
and
the updated versions.
that really stinks because
Yeah.
we kind of got some cool stuff, and it really is disappointing. Chat's blown up because Vice in the house. So let's give him some love here. So not only did my man come back with a vengeance, but he signed up to become a Cornercade crew member. So we really do appreciate it. And then he didn't stop there. He was like, everybody's getting the love. So he gifted 5 new memberships. And guys, we got him on the board. We got Damian Williams as a new Cornercade crew member. We got Wild Child, Calvin Wong, C North, and our boy Thor KC, man. Thank you so much, guys. And Vital for supporting the channel. Really do appreciate it. Those guys right there, those are like consistent memberships to people who always tune into the channel. So really well deserved. And I can see all the behind the scenes stuff. I've been posting about a whole bunch of stuff, guys, but you can't see it if you don't spend the 99 cents on the membership. So we really do appreciate that, man. Okay, so getting to our roadmap here of what we got going on. So we are in April, where it's highlighted in green. So pretty much everything going forward. So you think really Pac-Man's going to come out in 2024 of October?
The Oh, are you talking about the shape up there?
Yeah, the XL.
Yeah, no. I the Miss Pac-Man. Yeah, I think it's going to be that September October timeframe because it's for fourth quarter holiday sales, right?
Yeah, oh, you're right.
That's
Yeah,
when
yeah.
Costco will want that stuff.
That's
Now,
fair.
if they do too, maybe they want it early, earlier for the summer. But to me, a summer release, if they're going to do a Golden TXL, like Michael B has insisted, that makes more sense for the summer than it does for winter. But I guess it makes sense both ways because if it's a Christmas present for the man in your life or whatever, it makes sense around there too, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. Or the
I know
woman, because
plenty of
they
wives that have thought about buying
Miss
arcade
Pac-Man.
one-ups, like, for
Yeah.
their husbands for various holidays and stuff, so
Yeah, so to compare this list with what we had going on, we definitely had Golden Tee on there. I just knew that was coming. I hope we can get sometime in the future an open ice. That'd be so dope. But X-Men 97, that was a re-release there. So we got those two now. We're looking in April, May, June, July would be the next big event. And that's where we're gonna get this like Evos there. We might see a little track and field action, kind of just progressing here through August. Now, I mean, it would be kind of exciting to see some of this stuff. Nothing here really like makes me want to go out and spend my money kind of thing.
yeah.
Where it's like, oh, that's dope. Because a lot of our a lot of our stuff that we have now, we have a majority of this, albeit Golden Tee. The ones that stand out here for me are, Golden Tee, Street Fighter, Alpha, and the only reason Track and Field one is because it's like a brand new one, but I don't get hyped over that.
Yeah, see,
Um,
this roadmap really calls out 3 totally new games, right? That's the Street Fighter Third Strike, and my hypothesis there is that's the theme for Evo is Third Strike. So it just makes sense that if they're gonna release a new one at Evo, that would be what it is. It could just as easily be Alpha. Um, but thanks to, like, Jade and others, we know for a fact that both Alpha and Third Strike will run on the existing hardware that is in the HS5 now. So they don't have to do anything more, but they do have to code, in order to have Third Strike be or Alpha be online playable, and that's expensive. So the question is, do they pay the developers to add that? Or is it simple enough because they've done all the other one that it can be ported pretty easy? Seems like it'd be ported to Alpha easier than, say, Third Strike, but, that's the big question is will they spend the investment dollars? The
yeah, that's
track
the
and field,
question.
they've already paid to have that all developed, right? So that exists already, and it's
And
an
they
easier one because it's only online leaderboards. They're not, it should be competitive head to head, but I bet they just do leaderboards.
and they could, if you see here and that question mark, they could be doing something with, that could be Smash TV, where did they pay for the development for that already too? So
Yeah.
that could be one.
Yeah, you just wonder, like, are they really like, even 3 seems ridiculous to me from a standpoint of, new cabs. Like, are they really gonna come out with 3 whole new games in a single year? I mean, maybe a few years ago, it's gonna be hard to do it this year unless
Yeah.
they've been hibernating and are gonna blow the doors off, right? And be like, "Surprise."
Surprise! And then just boom.
I don't know if you saw, like, they're out at Coachella. They posted on their
Yeah, I saw that,
Instagram,
yeah.
like, "Oh, okay." Like, why are you there of all places? Um,
Well, these are a bunch of random people at Arcade One Up, so
yeah,
it's very
it
random.
sounded like they just wanted to go, right?
Yeah,
And
and like,
so
hey,
they
they'll just
used
write
an
it out for a
excuse.
business express. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Jason says, I think one of the first questions here is how many people have nostalgia for Street Fighter Third Strike, or they just re-release Street Fighter 1 and 2 XL at Best Buy in July. I don't know if the Best Buy is the kind of company that's going to be picking up the XLs anymore. I think what really hurt them is that damn TN monitor with Blitz or not Blitz, Golden Tee and NBA Jam. And so I think a lot of people just stayed away from those cabs.
Yeah.
And I think it just hurt sales. And like Best Buy's just like, hey, we'll do the deluxe line, but the XLs didn't do so well. And not knowing that, oh yeah, they had like a shit screen in it. No wonder it didn't
Yeah.
do so well. So, yeah, I
I'd
don't know.
agree
That
with
would,
that. I also agree that Jason's right. I mean, who really has nostalgia for Third Strike? However, you can't argue with the Street Fighter brand, and it is the for all the love that Pac-Man gets for Arcade 1-Up, I would argue that it's Street Fighter that put them on the map. Your average old guy might have bought, that's us now, or at least my generation, might have bought a Pac-Man, but it was Street Fighter 2, seeing that as one of their early ones that really is the one that everybody was just, "Holy crap, I gotta have that," and, put them on the map. And so, I think I think most of us will probably buy a Third Strike if they came out with it, even though probably all the other games on there are all the same. You know, we'd want a new one.
Yeah, I'd buy it too, just because of the form factor, artwork, everything like
Yep.
that. Even though I have that on the MVSX, I love that game. It's probably one of my favorite Street Fighters. Just like the music, like it gets you going. Like that, just the artwork style is like familiar to what Street Fighter should be. I mean, they should be releasing new Street Fighters that look like that
Yep.
instead of like all these 3D dimensions. It looks stupid. Like they just, I don't, like Tekken 8. I would prefer it like old school. I don't know. You're gonna get a whole argument now where people are gonna blow up the chat. But
Yeah.
like, I like I'm in the retro
Yeah,
phase
I like
or
the
stage,
2D
but
fighters much
hundred
better than the
hundred
3D
percent,
ones.
100%. It looks just terrible. Yes, Ralphie Duran, 100%. Everybody hit that like. We got 57 people in the building. Definitely show your support. Very easy by hitting that like button. Goes a long ways. Come on, we still have no John D news at this moment. He is currently MIA. We were gonna do a tournament 3 days ago, where I was gonna face John D in Street Fighter. I don't know if maybe
Uh-oh.
do you know about this or no?
I've heard you challenge him before, or at least I've heard Moat say you should fight him.
Yeah, let me just bring this down real quick.
I'd imagine he has a whole lot more hours on Street Fighter than.
Oh yeah, he's gonna destroy me, guys. Like I'm only doing this to support Moat's charity for Children's Hospital.
Oh,
It's the only reason I would ever get in the ring with John D because he's gonna whoop my ass. And I think it's gonna be fun. But the stipulation was that I'd be 2 months free off of YouTube. So I'm doing this for the kids. I wouldn't put out any content. I'm off YouTube for 2 months. But that got delayed and pushed back. Moat is gonna have to fill me in on when we want to do it. But yeah, that's gonna stink because I
So
love
so
making
so
content for you guys.
he's telling you to stop making content for 2 months in order to
Yeah,
play John D?
yeah, he pretty much said, "Shut the hell up." But if I win, I think he was gonna donate like $200 or something. But I don't know. I have to there was no if I'm gonna win. He's gonna win. It's Street Fighter 2. It's that slow version. If it was the fast one, like that was like hyper fighting or something, oh, then totally, I would have at least maybe had a chance because I could get lucky. But the slow one, you gotta block, you gotta react, you gotta boom, boom, boom. Like it's gonna be it's just
Well,
that sounds like.
here's the real deal, right? The real deal is that without B doing his weekly shows now, John D's gotta go somewhere to make this big announcement. So, there you go.
I wish. There are probably some other YouTubers that have gotten some exclusives with him. I think a guy like Moat, and other people that have done interviews with him that maybe they would get first dibs. So that'd be really fun because I've never ever got to talk or speak to John D live and in the building kind of thing. I think that would be a excellent pairing because he loves YouTube. He loves being on it. And I'm a people person. I love talking to people. So I think it'd be a great pairing for sure. There's a lot of Gauntlet Legends talk. Like Rick Ho's coming out of here nowhere. Everybody's talking about Gauntlet Legends now.
Yep.
Um, let's quick just get back to the list real quick. So I just wanted to throw this out there. So as we were progressing, I see this XL Golden Tee that's scratched off. Now, speaking of XL Golden Tee, if you haven't already, go check off Smirnoff's website because they're giving 100 of these things away. And I'm convinced that they're not going to be rebranded to Smirnoff
I
and that they're just going to
agree.
be the Golden Tee cab because I don't know. I don't know. Why
They
would you do
might
that if it's
slap
the
a
XL?
sticker on it or something, but it says
Yeah,
on
yeah.
there, might not be the actual look of the cab, right? So,
Yeah, definitely. But if you haven't already, go check it out. Did you fill out one of those to try to win a
oh,
cab?
of course I did, because
That's
if
so
you
funny.
know, if you strike lightning and get a free one, it would be a cool anomaly to have, especially if it does have the goofy graphics on it.
Yeah,
But,
yeah, yeah. That's what I was saying too. I didn't realize it was the XL until I was like filling it out and stuff, and I was actually reading all the details into it. I was like, oh, I thought this was a deluxe, but yeah, we'll do XL. Why
yeah, it
not?
does seem weird, right?
They just trying
But
to get rid of them. It's got to
yeah.
be they're trying to get rid of them. Just get the hell because we got new stock coming in, kind of thing. So they're just wherever they're getting rid of them, kind of thing. and it's a great way to partner up and kind of get your name out there. It's kind of like reminiscing of like the Red Cross sale that they did, but this is just in a different light. And this is exactly where RK One Up, hello, where you guys at? Like, get on a show, 10 minutes, just say, hey, look, we're doing this. We're giving away 100 calves, guys. Get hyped. Like, we're partnering with Smirnoff. And this is what we're gonna do, and this is how it's gonna go down. And guys tuning in, because you get hundreds of people tuning into those shows for some god reason, for only them to say we can't say anything. But this is now you can say stuff and you can get hyped. That's one of the things that they're really just missing the mark on. I didn't even know about this until somebody posted it up in like a Facebook group, and then that's how I posted it, and then it just kind of spread it. Other YouTubers were posting it, and that's just not how you get like communication out there. You're still missing a huge piece of the pie just because us YouTubers are showing this. You can get on your very own show that has its very own subscriber count and actually do stuff with it and have fun and get hyped and partner with Smirnoff, give away shirts and stuff, hats
Oh
and
yeah.
whatever the case may be. Like, really make it fun. But that's just something that they've always just missed the mark. Stupid Fab says Danny couldn't make it that long with no content. He would end up altering his YouTube name like Council Fanboy. Everyone would be the first episode on the quartercade. No, no, no. I would. This is for charity. I'd be off YouTube, and it'd be crazy, right? Like 2 months. My wife would probably love me then. But yeah, yeah, no, that's yeah. I was like preparing for it, like mentally, like, dude, I'm gonna not like. I can't even like be in people's chats, kind of thing. Like, I can watch videos, of course. You can't monitor that, but I can't. I just nothing like radio silence. The corner
Yeah,
get out.
that seems excessive. Like I can see them saying, "Hey, like wager 2 months worth of super chats or something,"
Yeah,
but
no, no,
to being
no.
completely offline for 2 months.
Yeah, that's how it'd be. Yeah, it'd just be nothing. Because I was talking all this shit, I think, and I was having fun with them. So he's
Yeah.
like, you know what? I'm put your money where your mouth is. You're getting off YouTube for 2 months. But again, it's all for charity. It's all for charity. Mo's got to figure all that stuff out. It might not even happen. I don't know. It was fun dialogue while we were talking with it. So that was really it was fun, to say the least. Lethal Wolf says, "Hey, is that next cab AVP? Which in August? Yes, that is. James, this is your list. You speak
Y
upon that, my man."
yeah, so that's the same time that Alien what is it? Alien it's not is it Requiem? Alien Requiem movie comes out? I could be wrong. I know it starts with an R.
Yeah.
Um, so again, aligns with the movie. We know this cab was in production or at least hypothesized and sold because of Big Reese. Um, with the game lineup and everything, so we know that they've secured the licenses for it. They've done the development of, at least mock-ups of this thing. So it seems, you know, the rumors we were told is that nobody wanted to buy it, but they did tell them to yank it down immediately, and they took a lot of that stuff offline. And so I still think this is a strong likelihood for me. This one I think will actually happen more than any other. It's got the, you know, deluxe of the big blue look, which I think is hideously ugly myself, but I know people do like that one. With the deluxe, hopefully they raise that deck up so that it makes more sense height wise. And I know a lot of it, a lot of people polled people in the community, and it didn't seem too exciting to people because one, it's a 3-player deck, so it's bigger, takes up more space. But I do think this one probably is strong likelihood. Everybody knows the Alien and Predator brands. Every major retailer sells the NECA figures. They can't get enough of them. Like I think this is one that I'd be shocked if retailers don't want, you know, just me.
And maybe they told him to take it down, Big Reese or whatever, because they were like in talks with doing
Yeah.
this. So maybe it wasn't like a for sure thing, like with Golden Tee when Wayfair put it up there. They didn't tell them to take it down. It was already coming out. It's fine.
Yeah, at that point, Wayfair's a retailer, right, and has already purchased it and knows they're getting them. And presumably, based on the slides that Big Rishi shared, somebody took them from an online meeting with some other retailer, right, where Arcade One Up was pitching them to that retailer. So yeah, it's probably not like physically built or anything, but we know that they had given them a games lineup. here's the renders of what it'll look like. I mean, they did a lot of development on it, similar to what they did with track and field, right? They even went so far with track and field to have stool and everything else ready to go. So it's possible it won't come out, but I think this is probably, if I were a betting man, I think there's a better than 50-50 shot that AVP comes out this year.
Kind of like where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think they didn't want it until retailers were booked. They didn't want it out there, right? And they had the sales because they want to be able to drop it later. But
I think for some reason, I think AVP would look better just in the Dynamo cab. 2-player, just be done with it. Like, I just
I
don't
think it
like
would be
that.
cool if they did the Big Blue 2, which has it's very similar, but that top isn't that weird triangle. Instead, it's a raised box on two little like pedestals. It
Yeah.
it separates the speakers and the marquee, which actually kind of looks kind of cool. Definitely
Mhm.
cooler than this sharp or this weird pointy top one, in my opinion.
Yeah, and that deck was just too low. Like, it didn't.
Yeah,
You gotta sit down to play it. I don't like cabs like that because then you have to bring in a chair if you don't
yeah.
want to, and
It
it's.
has good game lineup. Just for me, it was in an ugly cab.
Yeah, I did have a good game lineup. I do miss having like Darkstalkers just as like a fighter. It could have been easily added in the Dynamo.
So, uh, your guy here, Basil, is asking if I will bet 2 months of YouTube that AVP comes out. Well, I'm not monetized, so it doesn't cost me anything. You just give me free time
Yeah,
back.
right. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, it's like sure, why not? Give me a break, kind of thing. I think what you got to get to like 500 subs, or is it 1,000?
500 for like super chats and memberships, and 1,000 for the other thing. So
Isn't that crazy?
technically, Streamlabs now has superchatme.com or superchat.me. I've been thinking about just adding that where it lets you, because one, unlike YouTube where they take 30% of everything or a third of it or whatever, like this place only charges like a 3% transaction fee. So, Streamlabs is a big popular place. So,
Here,
but
let me show you something you could do.
but probably won't do either of those. I'll probably just wait till whatever happens with YouTube, but because I don't
Yeah, let
really
me.
care that much about it. But point being that it doesn't cost me any money not to.
I don't know if it'll let me do this. Oh, it won't let me do it, but I can. You can literally put up like a QR code on the screen, and I
Yeah.
was thinking about doing that. Just put it to a like a Cash App or something. If
Yeah, a
YouTube
lot
didn't
of
want to take my stuff away, kind of thing. Like,
so I'm like, I watch a lot of like other YouTube content, right? Not just like retro or home arcade. So I watch a lot of like legal people that will live stream trials and things like that. I nerd out on that, find it very interesting. And a
yeah,
lot of them will just have the scroll at the bottom, like, here's my Cash App or whatever. So people can just send it there.
yeah. I mean, they don't take out 30% kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's a little bit easier, but yeah, Big Vicious, you're 100% right. Like Darkstalkers deserves its own theme cab.
Yeah.
I think that would be cool. But again, it's finding a retailer to pick it up. Like,
Yeah, I don't know
that's
that
the hard
there's
part.
enough nostalgia. It's a great game list, but it's not necessarily a huge one that was super popular.
Mhm. And I know Asteroids Deluxe, that's like literally with the route that Arcade One Up goes, this is literally a no-brainer. Like you
Yeah.
have it in it's literally the same. It's Atari 50th, and you just do that and you just make it themed as Asteroids. Um I wonder if they would have to change the control panel or they just leave everything on there.
They'll probably just, well, if they're smart, they'll tweak it a little bit based on the feedback that everybody's given them from the Atari 50th. But it's clearly the Atari 50th design is for asteroids. They just did the Atari 50th logo.
Yeah. And Rick Hose, you're not wrong. Like, a game like when I was playing Primal Rage, that control panel sits really low. And
Yeah.
Rico says, playing Big Blue commercial grade in the arcades, the deck is also low. Arcade One Up, deck is accurate height, which that's fine. But if we're making these games better. Like NFL Blitz, they just made better. Like graphically, they made it better. Yeah, they took out late hits, and I didn't lose an ounce of sleep over it. In fact, I love playing mine. But they're improving these games. I think that's where you have to take a look at. This is where you have a guy like myself that just somebody that speaks up and is realistically playing it and be like, this is just uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's arcade, anything authentic. This has got to get raised, otherwise, it's going to be a whole shit show of complaints.
Yeah,
And
just an inch or 2 and then slanting it is means would be
the
all the
world,
difference.
yeah,
Yeah.
literally, I think 2 inches and a slant, boom, done. Um, yeah, but I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's going to be the same, and it looks like this does not have a slant on it. Do you think the render had a slant? I don't remember.
It doesn't look like it to me. I didn't
They
think
might
it
have
did,
slanted
but
it. I don't know. Well,
if they're smart, they'll slant it. They've slanted not all of them, but pretty much every cab since then. Obviously, Atari is flat, but I think most of the other ones have that slight slant now.
um, the uh, the Atari 50th was slanted.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's a slight slant. Yeah, like he's looking. He's
Yeah,
like,
I
"Where
just
is it?"
don't you can tell I don't play it enough.
Yeah. There's there was a slight. I like looked. I'm like, wait, we got rid of that. I was looking.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm used to
I
you
still
used to
have
being a
mine
bad guy.
until they come out with, like, a new one, I'll still have mine, but I don't
Yeah,
play it, so
that
that's
one.
why I
Yeah,
didn't know. I've turned it on, like, 3 times, I think.
that one had to go. But it sucks because now that if we possibly expand the arcade, I kind of wanted it back. That stinks, right? We got
Well,
it for a
I'll
cheap
I'll
price.
tease you for my, so for those who don't know me, I stream every Saturday at 9:30 at night, obviously, and so little tease for, my upcoming one, I'm going to do a collab cab episode again. But this time I'm gonna give you the cabs we should see, and so I've got a good version of asteroids there coming that we should see.
Let's go. Check it out. Check it out. Tune into James Hates Everything, guys. I know Jason's been spamming your
Yeah.
link in the chat there, so it's super cool of him to do that, guys. Go subscribe to James Hates Everything. Push this man to over 500 subs at the very least. He deserves it. My goodness. And then we got that question mark. That was the that question mark cab is the Smash TV, right?
Yeah, so I've left it open for that, or really, something. I think we're gonna get something Bandai Namco. I don't know what it would be. I, there's no specific event other than it's holiday season, right? So something that's when they dump a ton of cabs out around that time,
That's
or
when
at
it's
least
go
the
time.
ones they've announced they show up around that time. So I think there's going to be some other ones. Like if you look on here, I think what did I say? Basically 8 cabs, which is low, right? They last year they did 13 if you
And
count.
in like what the month of August or no, it was like October or something, right?
Yeah, they announced a few up front, but for the most part, all of them came out more than halfway through the year, with the vast majority in that last 3 or 4 months. And
Yeah.
so I think you're likely to see maybe not 12 or 13 again, but I can see us getting to 10 realistically. I mean, right now they're on a similar pace. We're 4 months in and they've announced 2 cabs. But those were really kind of, we knew about them in March, so it was 2 for 3. But so maybe 6 and 8 is right, but I still think they'll speed up. Or we
That would
won't
be
get
cool.
anything, one of the two.
Yeah, right. I'm hoping. I'm hoping because
Yeah.
we look at it right
Trying to be
now and
optimistic.
yeah, 100%. I mean, like why like more arcades, more better. P Dubs wants to check you here and says, James, this guy got a screenshot from the Costco inventory system. We need some proof.
Yeah, yep. Like I agree. No pictures, right? But just the numbers that hopefully somebody else who works at Costco can look up and verify for us, because that would be very telling. But yeah, we need some pictures. I agree. But I know when we got pictures of Pac-Man XL, they had already kind of showed up in their uh, Costco's. They just weren't putting them out on the floor yet. That's when we started getting pictures of them. So who knows?
I
If what he says is true, I would think that that's, within the next couple months, maybe pictures do start showing up.
Yeah, you had me at 50% before the stream started. Of the fifty
Yeah.
fifty on it coming out, and I'm more like 80-20 now that it's gonna come out. So but yeah, Vic Vicious, I wish. But that those there are certain titles that the ships have sailed, and I don't think they're coming back. That I've
That's a
started to
Sega one, right?
yeah,
There's no
yeah,
way.
100%. Yep.
Yeah, I would
Yeah,
love
that's,
it.
I think it's just the price is way too high, and I think anything Sega is done because they are gonna make their own stuff. I think they see what Arcade One Up is doing, they say, "Hey, we can do this, and we can do it better, so or we can do it differently," kinda thing. So, Jason says, "Out of Taito, Data East, Konami, and Sega, which one do you think is most likely to make a return?" What do you think,
I
buddy?
Konami. I'm not convinced they're not gone, right? They're still cranking out. We're still seeing turtles like Countercade show up. Like, I don't think it's gone. I think you were waiting for redesigns to pop out.
But
Uh,
Is Turtles Nickelodeon?
well, Nickelodeon owns the current license for the cartoons, but the game itself is the original games are a Konami game. So even if you also have to borrow the licensing from Nickelodeon for TMNT, um, you still have to have Konami on board. And so I
Yeah,
think,
okay.
Arcade One Up clearly already has those licenses, so it's just a matter of slapping them into a new form factor. I will also say, uh, for those who aren't in the retro gaming space, Nickelodeon is pretty actively licensing things right now. Obviously, we know that Raw Thrills version of TMNT is supposedly coming out this year, but they also announced a new Rugrats game for the NES. You can get it on the actual original NES cart. I think you can buy it through limited run right now on pre-orders, and it looks great. Like, it actually looks like a really well-produced game, and that's a Nickelodeon license or an old system. So it's pretty cool that they're licensing that stuff for new old games.
I'm going Taito because I wanna see some stuff from Taito. Let's go. Like, that's what
As
I'm
ar
gonna go.
I know Arcade One Up had obviously Data East was Burger Time, right? And that was specifically because Scott wanted Karate Champ, but the community said do Burger Time instead. Did they
Yeah.
do any other Data East cabs
Well, there's
other
Data
than the
East on,
one?
like, the X-Men cab. Isn't that,
Oh, is
one of the
that is
games in
X-Men
there?
a Data East game? I thought that was a
Not X-Men Beat 'em Up, but the other game that's on there. It's either the fighting one or the Captain America Avengers shooter or whatever.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
Captain America and the Avengers is a Data East one.
yeah, so
And
but I
then,
can't
obviously, I'd take elevator action any day from Taito, but
that's
I
so
don't know.
funny. Are you
I'm not
just
gonna
saying
do
that
that.
because P-Dubs
'Cause
is in the
P-Dub's
chat
here,
right
yeah, I'm just
now?
kissing up to the Illuminati.
Yeah, speaking of that, speaking of P-Dubs, he says, "Did you have a SKU number? That's literally all we need to confirm." Just to let you know, even like for me, guys, if I were to check the SKU number, I try to check it at work, and it was like, there's nothing there, and that was 3 days before I knew my job was gonna get said cabinet. So
Yeah.
our system is locked down, dude. You ain't getting nothing from nobody, and it looks like Costco might be a little loose lips on that. I don't know,
The,
but we
no, as far as Taito goes, I've always liked elevator action. That's one of the first, games I always go to when playing just, like, multicade stuff. I think it's a fun game, but I don't know about a standalone that let's face most of those Taito cabs, that side art sucks. It's just a weird design.
yeah, you
I
can
mean,
always
it's
reskin it or
fine.
something. Yeah, yeah.
It's fine, but it's not like some really cool graphics or something. It's just like,
Look,
some
see,
black and lines.
he's all for you now.
Yeah.
Elevator action. Okay, James is cool. I'm a fan. I never played it, but I think out of the games that we were talking about, like those older games, I think Zookeeper was pretty cool. That was dope. I like
Yeah.
that game. That looks like it's pretty fun. But again, they're all. I'll take them all. I'll take them all. Anything new, we're taking. That's the goal here. Just running down this list since we had it. Mortal Kombat reskin to deluxe reskin to the Chinese takeout MK1. I would totally do that. Was on the list too of us that was coming out. Tron Deluxe was on there as well. So a lot of these, Asteroids Deluxe we had on there. A lot of these are what we kind of were kind of saying, and then like honorable mentions. I don't even know. I don't think. Yeah, let's
Yeah, and
bring
the
this down real quick.
the timing on those last 2, right, is simply movies again, right? So you got MK2 coming out in 2025. with Kyle Urban as Johnny Cage, and then you have Tron 3 also coming out in 2025. So again, if you're Cyrus and you're gonna align those deluxe versions to some other marketing that you can piggyback on, those 2 films are the way to do it.
Yeah, 100%. Here's our list. So we both came up with a list. Now yours is a little bit more fancy, and it's got pictures. Maybe I can get to that level someday. But right here, I just did this on my phone. So we got Third Strike Alpha, Smash TV Deluxe. That's what we had for
So
like that
this looks
mystery
like
cab.
an improved list from your original list because I thought it was on a white background before.
Maybe it was. I don't know. I know I have a dark mode on my phone, so maybe it changed up. I don't know. But we left it the same. Special event cabs, like we talk about that they do all the time
Yep.
now. So that's like their new thing. So X-Men 97 Smirnoff Golden Smash T XL, that would fall under there. So we got two right so far. We're pretty much 2 for 2 right now, which is great. We got the Golden T Deluxe on there.
So you got
Very
your
similar.
NBC2 Deluxe, right? It's just called that X-Men 97 one.
Well, I'm thinking that they might come out with an MVC2 Deluxe, just
Separate from the
branded
X-Men 97 graphics?
separate. Yeah, separate. So I didn't check that off. I mean, theoretically, that's what that is, and us in the community would identify it. That's what that is. It's kind of like a no-brainer. But I might put a check mark on there. I mean, that's kind of like 50-50, but I kind of was hoping for like an MVC2 actual deluxe. And then honorable mentions, we talked about, Burger Time Deluxe might not happen. Re-releasing Street Fighter. So you know how they do the Street Fighter every year? But in the Dynamo, so it could be like a Final Fight reskin of that, or a different Street Fighter in the Dynamo. And we got that MK1 Deluxe on there. And then there was talk about Lethal Enforcers that we had in that list. So Lethal Enforcers Deluxe could be like a shooter. They might not do a shooter or a driver this year, just based on kind of the low cost, high reward kind of thing. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, both lists pretty much align, except we just kind of threw in the Ridge Racer Deluxe in there and the Star Wars Deluxe,
Yeah.
which
But
is
you
very
got Burger
interesting.
Time Deluxe. I guess it's honorable mention, but I would
Mhm.
be shocked if we see that. Though they've clearly talked about before that the ones that skyrocketed in price, right? That's what they said last year. The ones you'd see come back when they released Star Wars because they knew there was demand for it.
Yeah, most of
Uh,
those were
we'll
just the
see.
honorable mentions I threw on there so the community can see, but it's like
Yeah.
it's probably not gonna happen. But while we're finishing up the show here, let's talk. Let's talk. Let's get this brought up. Giovanni sent us a super chat earlier, but before we bring that into the fold, guys, let's get this party cranked up here a little bit for our boy Jason. Guys, it's always an awesome show when we can play such bumping music. We got Jason Little Alien not only doing it down in the chat, but he's also gifting 5 new Corner K crew memberships. And they're going to go to Finn Bassman, Addicted to Arcade 1 Up, TCK, Real Moflo, and the Chosen One, all guys that tune in weekly to our show. So again, we got 10 new Corner K crew members, guys. Thank you so much for supporting the channel and being there as always. Really, really do appreciate it. Jason, thank you as always. Now let's see what Giovanni wanted us to check out. Let's take a look here. Let's share the screen here. Let's do this, that, and the other. Let's bring up this guy. And I'm gonna mute it because there's some copyright music that we heard. But we're gonna see
Somebody
if
said
some.
it was a Konami original, so he didn't think you'd get a copyright strike on it.
Oh, well, just better safe than sorry, because I've
Yep.
had that happen before, and then I gotta mute the whole thing. It's like so,
So
I guess
I've seen this video. I think he's posted this somewhere else. I saw this today actually.
so these are motion sensors
Yeah, that's slick.
that's kinda neat. Like, I love it. I love it. Just like prototype action. He's like, "Yo, this is going on a piece of wood right now because it's a prototype." Great stuff.
Yeah, Arcade One Up does need some sort of rhythm game. That would be cool. But those are more like 90s and or 2000s stuff.
Yeah, that would be dope. It definitely would sell to a definitely a different market. But again, that's gonna be time and investment for sure. Evil Genius Entertainment is here and putting up a show tonight about this exact subject. this subject or the roadmap discussion. And I wish Evil Genius had great internet because he'd be a weekly contributor to the show.
Yeah.
But this guy can't get logged in. He's like on McDonald's Wi-Fi. So I gotta shoot you on that one, man, because we're on the struggle bus when it comes to Evil Genius Entertainment. So but yeah, this is pretty dope, man. Like
He needs to
look at
get
this.
some of that Starlink for the shed so that he can get some decent,
Oh yeah, yeah. We sell that at work. It's great. It's so funny. Starlink and internet from space. Yeah, that would probably solve the problem there, 100%.
it works. I know a few streamers that are using it. I mean, it's not super great, but it's not like you're not gonna do 4K streams, but it's definitely usable.
Yeah, and they're still putting up satellites in there too, to expand the internet. Giovanni, I thank you for sharing that. That was actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Now, if you could start putting these in cabinets to really get that effect, man, that's where it's at. Evil Genius says, "What's going on, man?" He says, "McDonald's Wi-Fi would be an improvement to what I have." Yeah, I was giving you too much credit, my guy. It's too funny. The Starlink actually works. See, this is he's yes, it does, and
Yep.
I think he's gonna invest in this.
Yeah, so from what I understand, Starlink actually works really well because it's not like other satellite because they're lower Earth, so you have a lower latency than most. I mean, it's still high latency compared to any real landline, but uh, the bandwidth is really strong in it. So
Yeah, I just got Spectrum. We're just gonna stay there. You know?
yeah, I'm rocking 5 gig in my house on Google Fiber, so
Oh, okay.
it's
I
very
got
nice.
Yeah, yeah, we don't I know that's fancy stuff for what we have, but, maybe someday, maybe someday. That pretty much sums it up, James. I mean, I got nothing else. I don't know if you have anything you wanna add to the piece of puzzle, but we got the roadmap down. We talked about the Miss Pac-Man rumors, the XL possibly coming. Well, I'm 80-20 now. I was 50-50 before the show started. But, and then we talked about, oh geez, what else we talked about? We talked about the Smash T. Where we both put out with that. Guys in the chat, let us know. Put one in the chat. Did you guys put your name in the hat to try to get a Golden T XL Smash Smirnoff T thingy majiggy giveaway? Because they're giving out 100 of those cabs. So put a one in the chat. I know I did. There's the first one right there. But guys, did you? We want to know that in the chat. Any last words? I know for me, I'm gonna close it out with we got a banger show tomorrow with Miss Cornercade. We're gonna have fun because there's big, big talks about possibly doubling the size of the cornercade, and that's gonna be a massive discussion that we're gonna have. So
Yeah,
don't
I'm
worry, we got
definitely gonna watch that one because I can't believe you're gonna trade your master bedroom for the arcade and move into the little room.
we'll see.
So
We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. It's gonna be all lip sealed till tomorrow. We
yeah.
got planograms and everything. My wife went in, and just to let you know, a little PSA spoiler here. This was not my idea. This was not my idea. This is all Mrs. Guys, just real quick. Mrs. CC wanted to move the arcade in the living room. She was like, "F it, just do the whole living room." I fit like 100 cabs in the living room, and I was like, "Well, we got to put a limit somewhere here." So that's where that came from. But guys,
You're definitely gonna have to hook her up for the anniversary or the birthday or all or Christmas or all the above. Like,
yeah, she was like,
gonna give up the
"Hey,
master bedroom. That'll be
let
crazy if that's the
let's
way it
do that."
goes.
So there's gonna be conversations with that. So
Yeah,
that'll be
love
that'll
to
be
hear
exciting
it.
tomorrow. But guys, I appreciate everybody stopping by. We got 77 people in the chat, guys. Hit that like if you haven't. Comment down below, guys. What do you think about topics that we were talking about tonight? I will get to each and every one of your guys' comments after the show, but leave a comment. I won't be able to get to it if you don't leave it. And of course, smash that like on your way out. For James Hates Everything, this is Danny from the Corner K, guys. We will see you in the next one. Peace.